brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome into the LIBA Business Hour, sponsored by Nats to Tasseling, highlighting local independent businesses in and around Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, LIBA Executive Director Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And welcome to the LIBA Business Hour, a beautiful Saturday morning. I guess not beautiful, kind of gloomy out there a little bit. Gary is still running around in Scotland, so he'll be back with us next week. But Pam Dingman, our fill-in guest and county engineer, is with us today.
Good morning, Travis.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Kind of dedicated this show to man's best friend. So we're going to be talking dogs. And you have dogs, cats?
Cats. I mean, yeah,
cats.
you know, I have that giant Maine Coon that really belongs to my son, but he's visiting, so I'm a cat grandma.
Okay. So you're
That's
you're
the
just
only kind of grandma I want to be, Travis, for the record. I'm really good with where I'm at in life right now.
So your son couldn't take the cat with him, or he just didn't need...
You know, it turns out the Navy frowns on cats on submarines.
Really?
They get a little crabby about that.
Even can he get the emotional support cat thing? Yeah. Does that fly in the Navy?
I don't think they do that in the Navy. There's no emotional support in the Navy. He would laugh if I said that, but you know, I'm just going to give a little shout out to all of our sailors out there, because you know, when you're a Navy submarine person, you're underwater for 60 to 90 days at a time. It's a lot.
God bless him. Couldn't do it. Couldn't even come close.
As a mom, I hear nothing.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I hear nothing. Yeah,
I'll bet. Well, hey, our first guest today is Bill O'Loughlin. He's the general manager at Kennel Inn. So, Bill, welcome to the show. Good morning. Yeah, and we're going to have you just nestle right up to that microphone for us. So, Kennel Inn, boarding for pets, and you guys do a lot more out there. And we always have taken our dog there, and it's a big place. Yeah, like how many acres do you guys have?
We have about 44 acres. We're happy to say we celebrated our 36th anniversary a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Shout out to KQ and Ben, the previous owners. So they're actually still, KQ is still one of our neighbors, so we're doing well.
Very nice. And Dennis just bought it. It was about a year ago, 2 years ago.
Dennis Meyer has a hotel background. He bought it from KQ about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
So he's getting nestled in.
You might need to scoot a little bit closer into the mic, because that's all the farther I can extend it. there we go. I think we're gonna be able to hear you now.
There we go. So let's talk. Like, this is what blew me away about Kennel Inn is we took my wife when we're always out of town, and she asked me one day to bring the dog in to drop the dog off, right? And I walk in the door, and your whole staff knows my dog's name, which I get wrong half the time. But your staff seems to know my dog's name. And I was impressed.
It is quite impressive. On average, I think we have probably at least 10, 12 of our staff have been there for anywhere between 10, 15 years, some 30 plus years. So,
Travis, I just remembered that mic's not working. You guys are gonna need to
now
switch.
Now
what
it's making sense.
Everything is making sense. I'm remembering that mic for whatever reason is not working. I don't know why.
Wait,
I love I love it when stuff doesn't work. Yeah. So
is this why the screwdriver is here?
no,
I'm
it
just
literally
teasing.
we don't know why it stopped working. It literally just all of a sudden just stopped working yesterday. It was really weird. Anyways, so yeah, you have to use that mic over to your left, Bill. But yeah, that's why I was so confused. I was like, why can I not hear Bill? I was like, he's talking right into the mic. I was like, everything's going perfect.
Is my mic working? Because I can't hear it. There we go.
It's because I didn't have it turned on. See, everything is going great.
My goodness.
Radio check.
We've done this before, I swear.
Yeah,
For the record, this is how I was going to be heard over Travis, Ben, and you just totally
that's
ruined
right.
it. You totally ruined it.
I'll turn his mic off just without him knowing, so then you can get some words in.
Thank
I got
you so much. I knew you had me.
So the biggest part, one of the biggest parts of your business is daycare.
Daycare.
And
Yes.
and daycare is, it always makes me laugh because when I took our dog there, you think, okay, they're just going to be put in, like a little kennel and spend their day there. It's not like that.
It's just pretty immense and what have you. We on average do about 75 pets a day in our daycare. We've actually have a separate entry now for our customers on the side of the building, so it expedites the dogs in, dogs out. But we have indoor runs, we have outdoor runs. Probably have close to 15,000 square feet of yard space for them.
Okay.
And what have you. Of course, during inclement weather, we can actually bring them inside another 2,500 square feet at least, and what have you. So daycare is good. We start at 7, and if we're lucky, the last ones are out by 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
So they become a member of our families for sure.
And there's a huge playground. I was blown away at I'm like, my elementary school didn't have this much equipment in the back.
Well, it goes on and on and on. We also have nearly 20,000 square feet of agility field. It's fenced in. It's got grass area and what have you. And we'd like to see it used a lot more. So,
Yeah.
That's one of our focuses in the sales and marketing arena moving forward.
So how many dogs can you handle in a day?
During season, we have anywhere between 150 to 180 dogs boarded. That doesn't include 75 plus animals daycare. And one of the benefits for our associates is that they can actually bring their pets too. So another 25 dogs. So we have close to 250, 275 dogs sometimes on property at one time.
Wow.
So it's busy.
And with all that land, you take them for walks. They have like
Yeah.
nature hikes, and
we do 44 acres and probably a good acre or two right behind the daycare facility is where our hikes take place.
that's
A lot of fun,
fantastic.
a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. And so when for boarding, so when people go on vacation, I would assume gone for the week, they have a place to go.
They do. I will do a shout out to the team because it's the 6th year in a row for daycare and for boarding that we've been Choice Awards winner.
Outstanding.
2024. So yes,
That is
boarding
great.
is extraordinary. What have you? Like I said before, the staff knows all the dogs that come in at board week in, week out, what have you. But like I said, this is the season. Boarding, if you don't plan ahead, sometimes we are forced to say no. Sometimes that's how popular our boarding is.
So do you need, like, if you have a vacation coming up, to make some reservations?
You do. You need to call in and what have you. Sometimes during our holiday season, we have to require 2 or 3 night stay minimums because it's just that popular and what have you. So, but like I said, we rarely turn any pets away. We are open to just about everything except the drafts and what have you. But we are creative from that standpoint. But yeah, boarding is big for us.
Yeah, and it's not just dogs,
No,
right?
dogs, cats. We had 2 15-pound tortoises the other day, so gerbils, whatever. So yeah, as long as they come with their vaccinations papers, we'll take them.
Do turtles get vaccinated?
I have to ask. I have to ask my staff. They're called pork and beans, so I'm pretty sure they were vaccinated.
That's hilarious. So, and you guys board cats too, right?
We do. We can do about 30 cats at one time in our cattery.
Because cats are pretty self-sufficient, right? They can kind of take care of themselves, or
when
no?
you get
I think
aged
so.
cats, sometimes they have diabetes and they need shots, or sometimes the cat, I have a Maine Coon and they're very social, so he's just really sad if someone's not around.
Okay.
He
Needs
kinda-
a little attention.
He kind of makes himself sick almost, and so it just kind of depends on the animal, I think.
And so, is there any special care that for cats? Do you just? I imagine you don't take them on nature hikes.
We don't take them on nature hikes, but we have a safe and sound program where we actually take them out of the crates and let them play. It's been dedicated times and up to 30 minutes or longer, depending on what the customer or clients want. We do take diabetic cats and what have you, and administer the shots and what have you. So we almost complete full service.
So if your animal has medication,
Yeah,
you guys are going to take care of that.
Certainly do.
So Travis, I know this won't help my reputation as an older single lady, but I do walk Doja Cat on a leash.
Do you really?
Yeah, Doja's leash trained. So
Does he ever just quit? Like, done?
oh yeah. 'Cause
This
he's a
is
cat.
over. Because that's how I would be on a walk. I'm like, done. Go get the truck. Very cool. And so, what other types of animals do you guys have? I think I saw a rabbit in there once.
Again, all the furry feathered fins. We do birds. Like I said, we do hamsters, guinea pigs, of course the cats, the tortoises, and what have you. Snakes. We actually do snakes as well. So as long as we can handle it, typically the customer will bring in their own cages and things of that nature for unique animals like that.
I would hope so. I couldn't do that. If
Yeah.
somebody just brought their snake in and handed
Yeah.
it to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, take that. We'll let it go in the yard or something.
It's actually fun during feeding time, but yeah, it is kind of unique. So
So tell me a little bit about, I saw that you guys have like tons of different, for your boarding. It's not just a kennel. You have options of different places that they can stay while they're with you, right? Because some of them you have executive suites, which
I see.
frankly look nicer than half the hotels that I've stayed in.
Yeah, we have our standard runs. Of course, we have executive suites. And actually, the new owner, Dennis, he invested pretty good part of his investment into new suites. Our West Wing suites are pretty popular as well. They're state of the art and they're new and they're popular and what have you. It's people like to spoil their pets, and we have those facilities to allow them to do that.
And you like to help them spoil their pets.
Yes,
that's what you're here for.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So do you prefer dogs over people? I just have to ask.
Well, I come from a people background in the hotel side, but I have the luxury now of working with people as well as the pets and what have you. So it's a blessing.
I mean, I really haven't ever met too many dogs that I didn't like,
Yeah.
but there's been a few people here and there that weren't awesome.
They don't talk back very much. The dogs don't.
We've had to really learn their personalities and how to handle them and treat them, and they've had bad days as well, and read the signals and what have you. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So do you like slowly, if somebody brings in a dog, do you just throw them right in? Do you do something to get them like acclimated, so to speak?
We do. We have all of our staff has extensive training on how to handle the dog. So when you think a dog is wagging its tail, and it's probably maybe having a bad day. So there's a way to approach them, way to handle them, way to talk to them, and make sure that they're calm and ready to be kenneled or daycared for the day or for the weekend. So,
okay. And you can take them on walks by themselves if they're not good with other.
Yes, we can either put them in their own separate play areas or walk them individually, or play times with like size and personality of other dogs and what have you. So it's pretty sophisticated, but we rely on the customers to be very conversational about what their personalities are, what their needs are, and what have you. And then our trained staff just takes it from there.
Yeah. So one of the times we had Shannon had picked up the dog. She shows me she had pictures, and one of the dogs had a birthday, and there was like a birthday party or something. We got pictures and who the dog hung out with, and I'm like, holy cow, I didn't get this when my kids were in daycare. That's impressive.
Yeah. Well, each one of our clients can ask for a report card to find out who they played with, how they played with, they eat properly, were they aggressive, were they have fun, did they hang out? So we over communicate the needs of the pet because our part of our mission statement is pets first. Everything's about the pet.
Yeah.
And if we're not taking care of them, we're letting our customers down as well as the pet.
And people are going crazy for their pets anymore.
They are, which is exciting, but they don't mind investing in their health and playtime, especially with the daycare. We drop them off at 7, pick them up at 5:30, and they're not going to worry about their pet at all.
Yeah.
At work. So
are there people that do it like every single day?
Every single day.
Wow.
Every single day. So and that's where our associates are so good about remembering the names. They may not know all the customers' names, but they know the pet's name.
Yeah.
They know where to put them, where they like to play, what they'd like to eat. And so it's impressive. It's really impressive.
So definitely animal loving dog, cat people that you have working for you.
Yeah, it's not by requirement, but we do ask if they enjoy being around pets. And of course, about 80% of all of our employees own a pet, and most of them bring their pets to work with them as part of the benefit package and what have you. So it's exciting.
That's cool.
It's all about taking care of the pet.
And you guys also do training.
Training, we certainly do. We have a master trainer. Diane does a wonderful job with her staff and what have you. We have probably 2,000 square feet of indoor space, and the agility field is also part of her training. But from puppies to middle-aged dogs to seniors and actually we have a group of people that come in and do the training for competitions and what have you. So it's A to Z in our mind, what have you.
And you can actually be, I'll get this wrong, but it's like a membership, right? Where
Correct.
you can be a member. Tell us about that. What's membership entail?
Well, the membership fee for training is just an annual fee. I think it's like $225, but that allows you to get discounts off of any type of training that you're wanting to focus on. And typically, training can be either 5 to 6 days, 6 weeks long, and what have you. So it's a good value, and we get a lot of repeat business because training, as you know, if you can't do it for 6 weeks and then take 6 months off, it's got to be constant for the benefit of the dog as well as for the owner.
Yeah.
And what have you. So.
And part of that too is you can actually reserve the big. Is it a gym? Would that be the right thing?
There
to
is,
say?
yes. You can take them. You can rent out for a nominal fee per hour to come back indoors and do your own training. Not bring your own trainer, but you can actually come and train indoors as well. And that's where the agility field out and back it comes in. You can rent that space out there too for individual training or as well as for large groups or competitions or anything of that nature.
And it was for us because we live out, in the country. And so in the middle of winter, it's kind of hard to take a dog for a walk because, so we would rent out the gymnasium by ourselves and very nominal fee. It was, I want to say like $4 or $5 an hour or something like that. Maybe it was more than that. I could be remembering that.
It's a little bit more now, but
okay.
But it is per hour. It's pennies to do it. So we highly encourage it. What happens, but in all fairness, we need to market it a lot more and get to other organizations out there that don't have that type of square footage to work with. And we're excited about that indoor and outdoor space.
Yeah, because how big is that room? It's got to be
it's
5,000 square feet.
No, it's not quite. It's about 2,200 square feet.
Okay.
So, it's good size.
So yeah, it was enough to throw the tennis ball and chase the dog around and play and get her exercise. And
hey, Travis, we have a very important question I want to get to here.
Let's do it.
It says, does anybody in Lincoln own a monkey?
There you go.
I'm gonna say no.
Maybe, but
not that you know of.
Well, no, we've not. I've only been in town for about a little over 90 days, and I've not seen any monkeys.
What's the most exotic pet you've dealt with so far?
Probably a boa. It's kind of neat, and what have you. But like I said, we've got some of those macaw birds that will come in, and they will certainly have conversations with our guests and our staff and what have you. So that's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
I just thought I just wanted to ask because the listener was wondering.
Yes, and could be very entertaining with those birds if they know the wrong words.
Well, it could be. Sometimes we have to move them up to the daycare area. But no monkeys yet. I'll let you know.
So you have a not ready for prime time parrot area.
That's right.
Right?
That's
okay.
That's
well,
right.
Good to know.
That's
I mean,
right.
you really are meeting all needs.
Yeah, we got tons of space. We'll find a nice home for them.
And so let's the website. What's the website? Is it
Kennel dash N KENL dash N.com.
I never remember if it's if there was the dash in there or not. So Kennel dash N. You guys are on Old Cheney.
Yes.
Used to be way outside of town. Now just about a half a mile outside of town.
That's exactly right. The town is coming our front door.
So it's like what 100th. If there is no 100th, but if there were, that's about where you guys are.
Correct. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to go to a break. Thanks for coming in and talking with us today. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks very much for your time.
On the backside, we're going to have Troy and Jen Post, who own Pet Once, and we're going to continue our conversation about dogs and cats and pets and
maybe monkeys
and monkeys and bears. Oh my!
Maybe they do monkeys. So, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com. Serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relief. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF. I thought I was your best friend forever. BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first.
That sounds like a match made in heaven.
Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Hamann Jewelry, here to drop some knowledge bombs on how to wow your woman. Size matters, but not the way you're thinking, guys. Make sure you know her ring size before you even think about popping the question. If you aren't a surprise kind of guy, ask her. I bet she knows her size. If you are a surprise kind of guy, bring in a piece and we can get close to the right size. We will make it perfect for her when the time is right. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Hamann Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Ascend Aesthetics.
All right, we're back, and we have Troy and Jen Poston with us, and we are continuing our discussion about man's best friend. I guess since we're doing man's best friend, we should probably call up Rick and Jordan Haim and have them in next week so we can talk about woman's best friend. But today,
I'm just going to say, Travis, boo.
boo,
I mean,
diamonds aren't.
If we can talk about jewelry from the standpoint of like, hey, I buy my own, right?
Do you buy your own?
Oh, absolutely. I know what I want.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, it doesn't work that way at my house. I guess I buy, I deliver, and when I don't, then I have to go buy more. So,
Travis, for you, I'll have a little chat with Shannon.
okay, fantastic. I appreciate it. Well, Troy and Jen, you guys you've been in town forever, own several businesses, but now you've opened up Pet Once, which is a kind of a premium dog food. And just give us a 30,000-foot view about Pet Once.
Pet Once. It's about health and wellness for your furry friend. We have food for dogs as well as cats. If you look into the history of dog food, cat food, you would be completely grossed out. Absolutely grossed out. Many people don't know that dog food and cat food is actually not regulated by the FDA.
Really?
It is not. It is not. And it's actually kind of overseen by AFCO.
By what?
AFCO.
What's that?
It is the association. Of course, you asked me that.
Draw a blank. That's okay.
Just say what
It's
they
just
do.
some federal government something or other.
It has to do with American Federal Feed Corporate or Association.
Okay.
So basically what you do when you look on your package of your dog food, your cat food, you see the guaranteed analysis. So their goal is to make sure there's a certain amount of protein, fiber, moisture, the fats, that has to be listed. But the actual ingredients for your dog food and cat food, since they're not regulated by the FDA, there's some interesting ways that those are actually put out on the package. So you actually probably don't know what you're feeding your dog or cat.
And the thing that, because I was trucking with Troy the other day, I was kind of blown away. A lot of dog food, cat food is not even made in the U.S.
Correct. You don't necessarily know where the dog food company is sourcing their ingredients. You don't know if the chicken or the lamb or where it's coming from. You have absolutely no idea. If they get a good deal in China, it could be produced in China. One thing about Pet Once is all of our stuff is made in the United States. It's really unique because it's actually fresh. People don't know that kibbles can be fresh. Ours is made 9 times a year. And unlike most of your bulk bag dog foods, cat foods, ours are actually cooked at a low temperature. Like, have you ever cooked a brisket?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You cook it at a low temperature. You slow cook it. And it helps preserve all the nutrients.
Okay.
But ours, like I said, is cooked at a low temperature in very small batches. So we can actually really see what's going in. We can actually control it and we know what's in there. Most of your bulk dog food, cat foods, they're thrown in a vat, and I'm going to exaggerate just a little bit, 40-ton vats, high temperatures, forced through. And unfortunately, you lose a lot of the nutrients in there. Once that is processed, it goes into bags. It could be bought by a wholesaler. It goes to their holding centers in the United States. Then it's bought and then through a distributor, and it goes to those companies that are going to be selling it. And then it can sit in their warehouse for who knows how long. So unfortunately, sometimes when you buy your dog food or cat food, it could be 2 years old.
Oh my
by the time it
gosh.
reaches your pet bowl. Our goal is to get it fresh. And once it goes through third-party testing, it's going to reach your dog or cat's bowl within weeks.
Wow. 2 years. I just think, like every once in a while you go into the break room and there's that donut. Someone brought in donuts a couple days ago and you decide to go for it. That's tough sledding. I can't imagine 2-year-old dog food and what that's got to be terrible. Of course, I've never tried it fresh or personally, but I imagine the fresh is going to be better for your dog.
Well, it's gonna taste better
Travis, I
too.
would have
Yeah.
thought you were that one kid.
Well, I have eaten dog biscuits. That's you grow up in Cleveland, you're a Browns fan. It's a very disgusting ritual, but that's what we do.
So you guys are working on this dog food, and if I wanted to ship this dog food, or I'm somewhere else in the country, do you guys ship too, or
Yes, we do. So you're welcome to go visit our website. You can order online, and if you provide a good address, we'll actually put it together and we'll ship it to you. So if you travel and you're going to be, you're staying somewhere for weeks, months, we'll actually ship it to where you're staying, and that way you never have to worry about your cat or dog running out of their food.
And you guys actually deliver, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, we do. Yeah, you we have some amazing treats and chews as well. And we'll get an order in and I'll fill it in. Actually, when I close my shop, I'll just contact them. I talk to people all the time. That's one thing about what I do is I like to make myself available. They can reach out to me on Facebook. They can, if my actual cell number is on my card. I actually talk to people, they want to text me. I'll run it and deliver it to their house because I love meeting the fur kiddos. Oh my gosh. I probably spend more time on the floor with the dogs than I do actually talking to people. I'll recognize you when you walk into my shop. Oh, hey, JoJo. And then I don't remember JoJo's mom's name. So, but that's just the kind of person I am.
Well, and that seems to be kind of the industry. Everybody just loves animals, and those are your customers, really. So it just it clicks. Now, you guys do. Is it mostly kibble? Do you guys have wet food? Because when you think fresh, we're getting bombarded on TV with all the rancher's dog and all these other crazy. And you think, okay, well, is that fresh? But it's not just wet food. But do you guys do wet food as well, or is it mostly just kibble?
Yeah, we have a few canned wet foods, and they're very selectively sourced through companies that use really good ingredients. We're just getting ready to roll out our Pet Once branded freeze dried food, and we're really excited about that. It's real high quality food, and it can be used as a food or just like a topper on top of the dry dog food.
And that's so funny because we get the toppers, which is like salmon. There's a couple other ones. There's like chicken and that you can sprinkle on the food to give the dog a little something different, right?
Yeah, yeah. We do that also. We kind of grind it up and put it on top of our dog food because we started feeding fresh food to our dogs, and it was a little difficult to get them off the fresh food. But what we did was they did like the kibble, but they missed the fresh food because we were feeding one of those grocery store fresh foods, and it was taking up a bunch of room in our refrigerator, and we decided, hey, we can't continue to do this, and so to transition them to the dry food, we've mixed in these little toppers and stuff, and it gives them a lot of nutrients and extra protein and
Absolutely.
omegas and that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh. So fresh food, Travis, you brought up a good point. Fresh. People think the wet food in the tubes. They think the wet food or the softer food in the bags, and there's a big push for fresh food. I go back to my kibble. Kibble, it can be and is through Pet Once is fresh. Your fresh food does not have to be wet. A reason for a big push of that is getting in that extra moisture. That's the whole point of wet food is to give them extra moisture, especially with cats. Cats have a tendency not to drink. They don't like to drink enough fluid. When you were talking about toppers, toppers can just add extra flavor. But one thing about Pet Once is that we're about multi-purposed. We're about the health and wellness, like I said, and the vitality. If you've got a fur kiddo that maybe is needing a little help gaining weight, you're gonna want to add extra protein. I might suggest you do a freeze dried beef heart. That's actually going to be higher in fat, but they're going to get that amino acid, those proteins from that beef heart. You could look at a chicken topper, which we offer actually the actual freeze dried chicken hearts. And you can, since they're freeze dried, you can kind of pound them down and grind them up. It just gives your dog the extra protein, so you can feel really good about it. Plus, I don't know about you, but if I had to eat the same thing every day, sometimes you get a little bored with it.
Yeah.
The one thing great about Pet Once as well as is Troy mentioned transition. It is really important when you look at your dog foods or cat foods. If you just go to the store and buy whatever bag, whatever food, Depending on what it's made out of, you could actually disrupt those digestive enzymes. I don't know if you could think about a time that you've bought a different food and fed your dog a different food, and maybe there was an upset tummy. Maybe I'm going to kind of gross you out, but maybe if there's vomiting or that kind of thing. You disrupt those enzymes. You're going to have a reaction to it. Most dogs, most cats don't have that cast iron stomach that can handle anything anymore, because most of our dogs and cats are domesticated. They've gotten used to certain creature comforts. Back to the toppers. I like to think multi-purpose. So, for example, I have an amazing Alaskan wild-caught salmon. And I love it because the skin is actually on it. And since it's free-dried, you can actually crumble it. You're actually going to give them those really needed DHA, those omega-3s for the skin and coat.
Okay. And on your food, the ingredients that you guys have in your food is so different. Well, not different, but there are a bunch of things that are not in your food. Because of course, marketing guys, I know what marketing people are like. You go to the grocery store, you see the bag, it's got the nice chicken breast and a broccoli on there, and you think, okay, the stuff like we would eat. That's not what's in that food necessarily, right?
No, it's not. In fact, I challenge everyone to take a look at the package and look at those bright colors, bright pictures on there. I guarantee you're probably not going to find half that on the package. That's the whole point, is to get you to make you think fresh, healthy, that kind of thing. More than likely, you're going to find that one of the first ingredients after the protein source is probably a grain of some sort: corn, wheat, soy, and then you'll see some kind of animal byproduct. And you see the vegetables. Well, there might be, you might find one or two in there. But depending on the purpose of that, for example, if you use just a straight up green pea, diabetics are told to kind of limit those green peas because they turn to sugar. Dogs do not have the ability to digest sugar. They do not have those digestive enzymes to really break down that sugar. There's a lot of things in foods that can lead to an uptick of pancreatitis, and I could keep going on. But what we've seen, if you really think about it, is there's been an increase in human allergies over the years. When I was little, it was very rare to find someone that was allergic to peanuts. You'd have that one kid with a peanut allergy. Now it seems like there's many people have different food intolerances and allergies. A lot of the grains, they're genetically modifying the grains, the corn, the wheat, the soy. So now here goes my tinfoil hat. I'm thinking that it's also in the grains are actually what's increasing some of the food allergen in our dogs and cats. Great thing about Pet Once is that there is absolutely no corn, wheat, or soy in our foods, but we also there is tons of prebiotic in there. You're going to get that kelp, you're going to get that spinach, you're going to get those carrots, you're going to get the cranberries, the blueberries. You're going to see some of that superfood. There's also a probiotic, that's where it goes into that vitality. That helps that gut health. And our immune system is actually held in our gut. Healthy gut, healthy dog, healthy person. And then also turmeric. There's also turmeric in all of our recipes as well.
Okay.
And I tell you what, when we lost our dog Sadie, which is kind of the reason why we do what we do now, we started looking into foods, and so impressed. We purchased some Pet One's foods. We had it shipped to us, and just the dramatic change in our dogs now. Their health, their vitality, their skin, their coat, their eyes, their energy, just complete 180. And after, like I said, we lost our dog Sadie, and now my goal is to avoid having other Sadies out there. If I can just get the message out there, this is what we have, and it's fresh, and just so that there's other dogs and other cats that can get on this food and just be able to enjoy those benefits. Because again, I keep saying it's not about just the health and wellness, but it's about the vitality of your dog or cat.
So when when people, our listeners here now, are probably looking, hopefully right now, they're looking at the back of that dog food, cat food package. It's kind of like the first ingredient is what's most in the product, right? And then as you go down the list, that's what's the least. And so what should people looking at right now? What are the good things they should be seeing? What are the warning signs that they should be seeing?
Well, one thing that I would mention is a lot of times the protein is first on that label, and if it says like fresh chicken, fresh beef, that kind of thing, that's not always good because you don't know if that's the whole chicken, the feathers, the beak, whatever. And the other thing is those ingredients are listed raw, so you can imagine a steak, cooking a ribeye, and get a 12-ounce ribeye, and it cooks down to 6 or 8 ounces. Um, it's not near as much protein for them. So what we start with is we start with the actual meal. So that's already cooked down, and so you're getting that weight in meal. That's not going to cook down anymore. It's added to the dog food, and then from there the ingredients are listed in order. It's usually going to be some kind of carb. We have 7 different recipes of dog food, and we start with the brown rice, which is a lot better on that glycemic index for the dogs. And we have salmon, we have lamb, which is lamb is good for those dogs with sensitive stomachs. And then we have our traditional chicken recipe, and then we have a lean formula, a real high protein puppy formula, and then we also have 2 grain free formulas, which are going to use different carbs like a garbanzo bean or chickpea. You know,
Correct.
So a lot of these, and I'm just going to call them grocery store, even though they're not. You can get them all kinds of places. But so when their first ingredient is chicken, they're kind of cheating, right? This is like pre-cooked. So in comparison to your food, I know it's not percentages, but if it's like the number one ingredient in there, and then when they cook a lot of this out, it's really not the main ingredient, is not the protein.
So you are absolutely right. So, like, if your first ingredient is chicken or beef, once it's cooked, kind of a rule of thumb is actually if you look about the third, fourth, the fifth ingredient in the listing, you're actually going to replace that. So, if your second ingredient is wheat or corn, that's actually the bulk of what your dog or cat is getting. They're not actually getting the protein because once it's cooked down, the first 5 ingredients, like I said, are the first things you look at. You're gonna actually swap that. Troy really pointed out, great example, if you cook a hamburger down, you're losing a lot of that protein, as well as the good oils that they need in their diet.
So quit looking at the pictures on the front of your food. Start looking at the back, because we're all victims of this, but you never equate it to dog food. Like I decided to start eating a little bit healthier, and I went and got this juice smoothie thing that had a broccoli on the front, and it's green and no sugar added. And I flipped it over, and there was like 42 grams of sugar. I'm like, wait a minute, this is they're showing me one thing on the front, but you got to flip it over. You got to read it and see what you're really feeding your animal. And now go ahead.
What about treat time? I love treat time. It's my
Oh,
favorite.
that is actually one of my favorites. Okay, so I hope you got time for this.
Yep.
So most of our treats, and I say our meaning the treats available. If you look at your average bone that you can buy, your cookie treat, your bone, the first ingredient is going to be wheat. First ingredient is going to be wheat. You look at your dental stick, your average, that you buy for fresh breath for your dog. The first ingredient is going to be wheat. Ours, we like to use things like garbanzo flour, tapioca flour. We like to use natural ingredients. My favorite cookie right now is my peanutty cookie. I open up a bag and I like to share them as some for kiddos walk in. The first ingredient is garbanzo flour because you have to have something to bake it with, but it's roasted peanuts, peanut butter, natural honey, egg, kelp, and just a little splash of cinnamon. And I tell you what, you open that bag and you smell it, you want to eat it. You actually want to eat it. I've been told it smells like a ginger snap, and a lot of people say that they smell a little bit like the Scooby snacks. I don't know. I've actually never had one. They're called Scooby snacks. um, but I have yet to have any for kiddo turn their nose to those. Um, it just you know what you're feeding your kids. You know what's going into them. And we have several options. We have like quinoa. Quinoa is also used. Chickpea, you get extra protein that way as well.
Yeah. Well, we got about one more minute, and then we're going to slide into a break. And on the back side of that, I really want to talk to you guys about allergies, because my dog has allergies. I'm sure you guys see a lot of animals with allergies, and some of the things that you can do to help people get their dogs past these allergies. That's coming up next, right after the break.
Kingdom Sports Minute with Ron Brown. I hear it all the time, and I've said it myself. Stop judging. Don't judge. The Bible says don't judge. Really? That's not true. The Bible does tell us to judge. It tells us not to judge unrighteously. But with a righteous, sound judgment, we are to judge. We have to know the difference between a ball and a strike, just like a home plate umpire has to know the difference. We have to know the difference between the girl or the guy we want to marry, because if we don't have good judgment on that one, that's a lifetime of disaster. Sound judgment helps extract the two kingdoms, the kingdom of man from the kingdom of God. And listen to what it says in Romans chapter 12, verse 3. The Apostle Paul says, "For through the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you not to think more highly of himself than he ought to think, but to think so as to have sound judgment, as God has allotted to each a measure of faith." So in our judgment, we have the opportunity to have a righteous judgment in Christ.
Visit kingdomsports.online.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
When you look at Nebraska baseball, I mean, a 40-win season, best pitching in the Big Ten, above average offense for the Big Ten. You go to regionals, far and away the best pitching staff, but a good half a run below even the third worst offense in that regional. When you look at Nebraska baseball, is that a program that needs to improve the pitching first or the lineup first to be able to make more of a dent in the postseason?
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure, I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Starter Heyman Jewelry, here to drop some knowledge bombs on how to wow your woman. Size matters, but not the way you're thinking, guys. Make sure you know her ring size before you even think about popping the question. If you aren't a surprise kind of guy, ask her. I bet she knows her size. If you are a surprise kind of guy, bring in a piece and we can get close to the right size. We will make it perfect for her when the time is right. Until next time, this is Jordan at Starter Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I think the plan is to go bigger at corner. You got to have bigger corners in this league because you got these receivers. You got to deal with Ohio State receivers. And I'm not saying small corners can't get it done, but small corners have to be extraordinary, right? They got to jump higher. They got to do things that bigger corners might not necessarily have to do. So, I mean, losing Ethan Nation, it's kind of a blow, but when you got to get down in scholarships anyway, it's not, man. They got to have their best guys, man.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services.
All right, we're back. So let's talk real quick. Your website. What's your guys' website?
It is petwantslincoln.com. PETWANTS. Lincoln.com.
Fantastic. And your location, you're just off, it's 48th and Highway 2 north though, right?
Correct. If we are that's basically a block from Highway 2.
Okay.
North of on 48.
On the east side. So there's U-Stop is on the corner, and then there was the old Godfather's Pizza, kind of that strip mall, and then you guys are at the end.
Yes.
So 1 block north on the east side of 48th. I keep calling it Highway 2. It's Highway 2.
We're stuck.
Can the county engineer rename that to Highway 2?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, well,
that is
there we go.
outside of my hula hoop of influence.
So I want to talk allergies real quick because my dog has allergies, and we've tried anything and everything. So we thought, and we actually started we went to the vet gives shots. We started buying some food from the vet. Oh my God, is that expensive and not working. Thank you very much. So what can you guys do to help for people who have pets with allergies?
Well, we get this question a lot of times. Somebody will come in and they're desperate because they can't figure out what's going on with their pet. They have really bad skin issues, or the pet is vomiting all the time, or has diarrhea. And so we're like, okay, well, let's look at what you're feeding. See if there's something that we can figure out there. But the one thing that works really well is you can do allergy testing. And at the vet, it's really expensive. I've heard people say that they paid upwards of $800, just for that testing. And we sell those testing kits, and we don't make much of a profit off of those because we just want to use those tests, to help those pet parents, try to figure out what's going on. It'll test, over 200 different things, and it's going to test allergens, and it's going to test, intolerances. And so we can kind of narrow it down. And you'd be surprised, how many allergies that a dog has. We've seen panels where it's like, okay, what do we have? And so you kind of just have to narrow it down and just, find the best fit for that pet. That's one thing that's really helped with that. We've been able to help, I think, about everybody that's came in. The only thing that we can't really do is we don't have any vegan foods.
Right.
And so, dogs are meat eaters, but unfortunately some of them are allergic to protein. But what we can do also is, we have enzymes that can help reset that immune system, that digestive system. So, we believe that health comes from the inside out. And so we have different enzymes that, you can put in your pet's food that over course of 6 to 8 weeks can definitely improve their health too.
So, and I just bought one of these kits because I'm at the point of desperation because the itchy eyes, the scratching, the sneezing, the whole nightmare that is allergies. And so your kit actually tests more things as well than what you're probably going to get at the vet.
Yeah, there's a couple of different tests. We use a 5 strands test because it tests a lot more things. It's a lot more detailed. and we like that. So we can go through that and just see, you know,
Something to point out, Troy,
yeah.
is it's not only the foods that your dog might be consuming, but it's also environmental allergens as well.
For sure.
This time of year, I get a lot of pet parents coming in and they're saying, we're seeing more hot spots, we're seeing more itchy, watery eyes. Um, Guys, we're just getting through spring and into summer.
Yeah.
And so when the grass starts growing, things start happening. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a little itchy, watery eyes or a little tickle in my throat as well.
And that's going to be just kind of part of life because it's
Yes.
we all have something like that.
Yes.
But
Yes.
not if it's year round.
Now that test that you're going to be giving your fur kiddo, it's going to identify. It's not only look at proteins, but it's going to look at any of the carbohydrates. It's going to look at any vegetables or fruits or anything along the line. And once they break that down, I mean, you might be surprised. It could be just millet. It
Okay.
could be just corn. It could be that your dog can't handle any fruits or vegetables. You're going to know that. And we're going to be able to look at that because you're going to get a full panel. We're going to be able to look at that and we're going to be able to make recommendations. And I tell you what, if we can't make a recommendation, we also have an amazing team behind us, doctors of veterinary science, nutritionalists that can offer some suggestions that we can pass on to you. Ultimately, everything's your decision. You are the fur parent, and we're not going to go against what your vet recommends. But I will tell you that we have been successful so far. I have seen one panel where that dog could only protein that dog could eat was rabbit. And I've seen a protein or a reading also that they could have alligator. Now, I can't get a hold of alligator, but I can probably point you in the direction to get it.
Yeah. And it's just hair, right?
Yes. Yes. You just send in the hair and they run the tests and then they're going to email you the results.
And then when I get the panel back, I bring it into you guys and you guys
Yes.
are going to help me read it. You're going to help me find what food to take to start giving the dog and treats
Yes.
and what
Yes.
to avoid.
The most common thing is people might spend tons of money or they even hand make their food on the foods, but then they turn right around and they'll give a treat that's causing the entire problem.
Wow.
We can take a look at what you're doing. We know what questions to kind of ask, and I'm not afraid to try to break this down for you. There was one fur kiddo that I worked with it probably about a month with, and we were actually able to find the steps that needed to be taken. And it was a certain food that we were able to do was our whitefish and duck, and we were also add some superfood. I mean, even if I have to tell you to go to the store and look at the pie filling, but get the sugar-free or no sugar or just the cooked down pumpkin, I'm going to make those suggestions to you.
Very good. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. And we're going to have you back once I get through all this testing with my dog and see what happens. Before we go, next week, Joe Kelly is going to be talking at the LIBA Luncheon.
Lieutenant Governor
Lieutenant
Joe Kelly.
Governor.
He's one of my favorite people in the whole world.
I used to
Travis.
know
I
him
love
when he was just a prosecutor. Such an interesting guy.
Is that because you were being prosecuted?
No, I
Thank
was
God.
not under interrogation at that time. He was long gone before I was in my, no, never mind. But actually worked in the Bush administration. It should be a really good conversation. So if you guys, anybody out there wants to go to LIBA.org and sign up. We'd love to see you down there. Ben, thanks for having us again. Another great, and Pam, thanks for filling in.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next week.
Up next, we got the Movement Hour with Rob Coleman right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. We'll see you later.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. When it comes to gift giving, it's all about the wow factor. And let me tell you, nothing wows quite like jewelry. Whether it's a delicate necklace or a statement ring,